Big salute, big salute, big salute, big salute. Remember, use your big stick while speaking gently. Big salute my support goons, support squad, my loved ones. You know I love y'all. Man, so much going on in the world. I don't even know where to start, but that's for another video. We're going to jump straight into it. What chapter we on? What chapter we on? Chapter 36. Chapter 36. 4 Great Judgments of America. America's 4 Great Judgments. To be plagued with too much rain will destroy property and lives. It swells the rivers and creeks. Too much rain floods cities and towns. Large bodies of water at the ocean shore. Lines will be made to swell with unusually high waves, dumping billions of tons of water over the Nile seashore line. Rain destroys property and kills cattle by drowning them in low lands. Rain destroys the hiding places of vicious beasts and reptiles, bringing them out of fighting in small towns, in people's homes and farms. Yep, because they was crocodile alligators was a big problem during Hurricane Katrina. That's one thing they don't tell people about, how them alligators was snatching folks up when they was walking through the flood waters. Rain weakens and destroys railroads, truck line beds, and bridges. Rain undermines foundations of all types of buildings. Rain makes the atmosphere too heavy with moisture, causing sickness. Wind with rain can bring destruction to towns and cities, bringing various germs, causing sickness to the people. It produces unclean water by the swelling of the streams and destroying reservoirs of pure drinking water used for the health of the people. Rain is a destructive army within itself. Hailstones are also a property and life destroyer. Snow is of the most dreaded plague when it comes in great drifts from 5 to 35 feet. It buries your property and lives. It destroys your highways, your cities, and your concrete and gravel in towns and cities. It puts a great burden of expense upon the cities. It puts a great burden upon the city. It puts a great burden of expense upon the city to repair it. The cave-in of roofs and homes, the cutting off of homes, the cutting off of transportation, isolating areas, brings about starvation, and communication is destroyed with the icing of communication wires. Snow looks pretty because of its clean look. Almost everything of nature is beautiful, but it can be turned into death and destruction against man. Snow is prophesied to be one of the weapons that God will use against the wicked America. Job, chapter 38, verse 22, Job 22 and 23. Hell is almost mentioned in the same 2 verses where God plainly tells us that he has preserved it against the time of trouble, against the day of the battle and war. The Holy Quran also teaches us that God used snow, rain, wind, hail, earthquakes, and fire against former wicked people. In America, is America any better than the people we read about in the history that God destroyed? No, she is not as good. These people were not as wicked as the American people. Earthquakes can destroy towns and cities instantly. America is in the grip of a divine judgment. America is in the position toward her once slave, so-called Negro, as Pharaoh was with Israel and his slave. She is in this position because of the injustice done to the American so-called Negro slave brought to America 400 years ago and refuses to let them go free. They only say that you are free, knowing within that you are not able to leave them without anything. But the injustice continues to increase. Now they plan death. So this God was predicted by the prophets to come to the defense of this people, so-called Negroes, in the last days in the last days after they served the enemy for 400 years. The Bible declares to Abraham in Genesis that God would judge the people to whom his people, Abraham's, would be in bondage. This does not mean Israel. This means the present black people, the members of their black nation, who have and are fulfilling their prophecy. God, in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, will not be defeated. The more evil, deceiving, tricking, and making of false promises to the American so-called Negro only increases America's divine chastisement, doom. America knows that her trouble lies in her mistreatment of the black man, the so-called Negro, but she is too wicked to give up tricking the Negro and deceiving him on false promises. She just cannot stop. The opportunity is too open, and she thinks that there is no one to hinder her. But God has chosen us to be his people, and he delights in fighting the enemy. According to the history of former people, he delighted himself by going forth against them when they exceeded the limit. So it is with America. They must be separated. America will not agree to see the Negro separated from her until she has suffered divine punishment, as Pharaoh suffered. The same thing that other evil nations suffered before them is now coming upon this people. She seeks to keep her slaves robbed of opportunity and wealth. She envies success coming to America, Negro free slaves. She charges them high prices to keep them down. She deceives them through a few of what we call Uncle Toms in the political circle, clergy, class, and all professional classes. She offers them little favoritism to help her work. Big facts. Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith. Against their own people, the black people, but they too will suffer along with the enemy of justice of the poor so-called Negro. They must be separated. Envy and hatred are growing between the two people regardless of their preaching of social integration. The truth must come. What is better than the program you find I have written? You too, black and white, cannot get along in peace since you never have gotten along in peace. Do you know why the white American does not like to talk with you about separation, and why he calls separation of the two people the wrong solution for peace between the people? He knows that it is promised and that God will do it. Then why do they not agree with separating themselves from you and me and we from them? We are the black man and white man all over the earth now in disagreement with each other to live in peace. Yep, Africa and the European Union, they try to blame us for the sickness. They try to blame Africa, they ain't with it. Old foolish Americans, so-called Negro, seek some of this earth you can call your own, to live on in peace. Unite and ask the government for a portion of America. This is what we need, somewhere to live to ourselves, and let the white man live to himself. The two people are not brothers. They are alien to each other. God did not make them brothers to each other. I ask you, my brother and sister, to learn this and learn it quickly and fly for your life to the refuge of Allah. Come follow me. Oh man, next chapter, chapter 37. America's land being divinely curtailed. So that was chapter 36. Yeah. Chapter 36. Okay. So yeah, y'all stay tuned, stay tuned. Big salute, big salute. Love y'all, man. I hope you got the message. And remember, use your big stick while speaking gently. Message.